Okay guys, we're back with our fourth and final installment in here. I'm going to basically show you how to put everything together with the Starburst Pattern part of it. But, you know, I've showed you plenty enough on how to make this here. But we're to the point now where we have all this together. We got to do the one side. And just a tip to show you, if you put your hand down on the glove, and then just kind of count these spots, or these sections here, and that's where you're going to want to take your outside finger to, right there, and then the thumb will ultimately go around here. So just to show you that and get you started, I'm going to hook this part up all here, and then I'll get back with you. So stay tuned. Okay guys, so we're this far along. You know, we added in here. We have this left over right here where we're going to place our Starburst. And we'll get with that here in a second. So what I'm going to do is show you real quick what we're going to do on finishing up this glove. Now, I will tell you that these here, you know, there was about 20 some here. And this is the one part where, you know, 2 looms will help with this. You could do it with 1. But you just have to piece it together a lot differently. So I've been using these extra pieces to stitch everything together. And of course there's only 12 or 13, I can't remember. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 sections on each one, but you needed 21. So what I did is I took 4 of these and I loaded them up. I loaded 2 of them up with the teal and 2 of them up with the glow in the dark. So when I got to the end of one, I just continued stitching onto the other 2 instead of tying it off and continuing. I just continued stitching from there and then just tied them together that way. So you could do it either way. It was just easier. I'm trying to get this video done and up so everybody can finish their gloves. So, you know, if you have any questions, of course, leave them in the comment section below. So what I'm going to do now is show you real quick, since this is the side that you're working with, and this is the side that you can see that you know is good, it should be the same on both sides. It really shouldn't make much of a difference. But just in case, what I did is I flipped the gloves inside out. So we got 4 fingers there. And then what you do is you take 2 of them on one side. Now they can be kind of a pain in the butt to tie in the knot because of the fact that they're stretchy. So I guess depending on if you got little fingers or not, or chubby fingers like me. And of course, you know, you don't want to pull them too tight because you don't want to break them. So what I did is I tied that one in a knot, and then what I do is I take the other side here and I pull those through the loops there, and then I tie the other 2 in a knot. And that just kind of helps keep everything together. There's one section. And again, like I said, it can be a little tricky getting these rubber bands to tie in a knot. There you go. So that's one finger done. Now, of course, that's what's going to be on the inside. So when you turn your finger back around, everything looks okay. There you go. One finger done. And you just do the same thing with all the other ones. So keep on it, and I'll get back with you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish off these fingers, and then I'm going to start this starburst here, which is going to be 6 starbursts, 6 starbursts. So you're going to have a total of 12 starbursts going around here. So for that, you could do it with 1 loom and then add on, or you can do it if you got 2. Use 2, then you'll get it all done in one shot. So I'll get back with you and show you how you would tie that on, Actually, you may ultimately have to do 6 and 6. Yeah, so what I'm going to go ahead and do it with one loom, do 6 here, tie it off, and then do it on the other side. I mean, we could do it here. Yeah, you know what? Go ahead, do it on 2 looms. I'm going to get it set up on 2 looms, and then I'll show you how we're going to tie one side on, and then when that's done, we're going to flip it around and tie the other side on and continue. So, I'll get back with you and show you. Hang tight. Okay, guys, I'm just going to do a quick tutorial during this video on how to do the Starburst, because some people don't know how to do it. But, I'm going to use 2 looms for this, and it's for the glove. And where it's going to go is 6 bursts are going to go up this side, and then 6 bursts are going to go down the other side. So ultimately we're going to tie this into it here in a little bit, and I'll show you how to do that. But for now, to do the Starburst, you start out, you get your arrows pointing away from you, you have it configured into the point here, and then you're going to start and you're going to go this way and all the way down to the end here, and then you're going to come back and you're going to start here and go this way and go all the way down to the end. Now, you want to know how to figure out, how far you're going to go down. So depending, I want 12 Starbursts, so you skip every other peg, because this is going to be the center of your Starburst right here. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And that 12th Starburst, remember that you're counting the centers. So you'll have one more peg after that, and that's where you'll end it. So we got a little bit left over here. That's not to worry. We'll still have our 12 Starbursts in here. And the way you start the Starburst is you start it in the 2 o'clock position. That's basically the best way I can explain it. And you're going to go, starting with your arrow pointing away, you're going to go from this point, and then you're going to go to the next one, and you're going counterclockwise, then to here, then to here, then to here, and then straight up. So you got 6 around. Then you're going to get your next color, or whatever colors you're using, and then you're going to skip up to the second one here. You're not going to go there. You're going to go again to the center of where your Starburst is going to be, which will be the next peg up. You're going to go kind of to the 2 o'clock position, and then you're going to go counterclockwise again. Continue all the way around. Push it down in the middle if you can't get it stuck. Alright, and just like that. So 2 o'clock, counterclockwise around. Then you'll go to the next one up here. Same thing. 2 o'clock. Then continue counterclockwise. Remember to push it down as you work. It'll just make it easier for you later. Alright, so keep an eye on, or you guys continue. Finish on up to the end. And I'm going to do the same, and I'll get back with you in a second. Okay, so I got another loom in the picture. They're coming from everywhere now. So I've loaded up the Starbursts. Okay. And what you do at this point is you're going to cap off the center of each Starburst, and you do that by taking a rubber band and folding it in half over 2 fingers, and then you just put it right over the end there. Okay. And I've already done the rest of them, so there's one on each center. And then when you have it pointing away from you, you're going to put a capping band on the very last one as well. So the center of every Starburst, and then the very last point right there, you're going to put one on. And then, of course, oh, whoa, look at that. It just all fell off the loom. Alright, so let's put it back together here. If you see that little whoop right there, which is no problem. What happened is the 2 looms just came apart. So, alright, they're getting worn out, guys. Had too much use. Okay guys, so what I did is I made the Starburst, and I decided that I'm going to add this here. So I counted how many spaces I had and how many spots I had here to hook into. So what I'm going to do, let's see, we got our centerpiece there, and then there's another centerpiece for the other side. So what this will consist of, let's get that off of there, is I counted back so it was even, but I wanted it to be in the middle. So I used the middle of the bracelet, put it in the middle of the two looms, and then worked my way backwards. And basically all I did was I moved one of the pieces to the center, one of them across there, one to the center, one across, one to the center, one all the way across, one to the center, one all the way across. So you can see the pattern. Where there's a gap here and a gap here, I just went to the middle. Where there's both, I went all the way over. So gap, both, gap, both. And then I'm going to start wrapping up the Starburst like you would normally do. Where you start in the center here and then you move your Starburst up holding down this. And then work your way counterclockwise. And when I get to those points where the make sure you get the right one, of course. When I get to those points where the other ones are, all I'm going to do is just really pretend that they're not even there. There we go. Got that side. Hit that Starburst pattern. And get that Starburst pattern. And then we're going to hook, and we're just going to go right over top of it and literally just pretend that they're not there. Slide that over to here. Get in there and get the other one. Slide it over here. You might have to move it out of your way. But again, just forget that they're even there. Forget that they're on the loom. Continue making your Starburst as you would normally do so. And then we'll move up to the next one. Move over here. Move over here. Alright guys. So you get the idea. Just continue looming. You know, they might get in your way. They might be irritating. But just continue to do the Starburst as you would normally do the Starburst. Just with things in your way. Just, you know, don't move them out of the way. Don't reposition them. Just work right over top of them like they're not even there. So I'll get this wrapped up and I'll show you what it looks like. And we're going to go to the center. Actually, you know what? Let's just go to the center. And we'll see how we're going to get this side to attach. Okay. Alright, so I'll get back with you. Okay guys, so we got to the middle. And, you know, there's not going to be enough. We're not going to be able to stretch this glove all the way over to reach the side. So then what we're going to do is we're going to go back here and we're going to start doing the sides like we were finishing off the bracelet. And then just continue moving this up to the side. And then when you get up to the last one that you were able to complete, which is going to be that one right there, and you just stop there, and then you're going to come back down to the other side and wrap the other direction. Okay. So we got to this last one, and then all we're going to do is we're going to pull this off the loom backwards, but we're not going to pull it all the way. Now, there is something that I learned today, and I learned this, and hopefully, if you guys, watch the whole video and listen to what I say, you'll hear this part. But I saw on Rainbow Loom's Facebook page that they're making knockoffs or imposter rainbow looms. Okay, so now we've made it to this point. And then this will help loosen this up so we can bring this side around. So we pulled this up until that starburst, and then now we can take the rest of these bands and hook them up, because we've released that tension that was on there. But about the knockoff rainbow looms, one of the things that I've noticed with them, and you guys that are out there doing some of these, I'm wondering if that's what you have. Because, with the knockoff rainbow looms, they say that the edges are really sharp. And, are they so sharp that they'll cut you? Highly doubt it. But they may be sharp enough that when you do big projects like this, you may end up snapping your rubber bands. So make sure you're using the rainbow loom stuff, because all the edges are really smooth. Granted, some of them could be filed down. If you feel like you got, a harsh edge, then file it down. Because, of course, as you work with these, they are going to get a little, rough around the edges. So, now we're back to the section that we had, and we'll continue building. We're going to go to our next starburst and just continue on. So, finish up your starbursts, do your sides, cap it off in the end, and I'll get back with you. Okay, so when you pull it off the loom, there's what your starburst tied in looks like. We got a little bit left over down here. We got a couple pieces left over down here that'll ultimately get tied together. This is going to make the thumb, and then we're going to have the band that goes around here, which is, again, just another starburst. And these, I think, I'm going to try this a little bit different. When what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually tie each section of this into it to keep this starburst pulled tight. So in between each band, I'm going to pull that up, because this one is typically a little bit looser. See, this one stays, nice and tight and close in here, and then this one has actually got a little bit of give to it. So I'm going to try to figure out a way in this, here to get that tightened up a little bit, but I'll get back with you, and then what we're going to do is we're going to start working on the thumb. And the thumb was pretty simple. What I did is I just, figure out how long it's going to be, and then you get these spaces right in between here, in between your starburst petals. So what you do is you build up your thumb, and then with the pieces that you've done, you're going to take each section of the starburst, put it over the end pegs, like so, and then run your pieces. And then tie them all together like you did with the other side. But, guys, look here. I only have a few more grays. So, I'm going to switch the grays here to black in the thumb so I can finish up the bracelet, finish up the glove so you can see it. So, I will get that going, and I'll get back with you. So, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the thumb. And then, well, you know what? Let's go ahead and do this starburst here. So, I'm going to make, another 12 of the starbursts. We can always add extensions to them. but this will be another 12. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we'll do another 12 there. And get it all tied together, and I'll get back with you. Okay guys, so what I've done is I added pieces on here. I got a little bit left over and I was pulling too tight, so I did the same thing, or I just went a little, part of the way, finished it, and then I'm taking this section off, and then I'm going to finish up this end and I'll get back with you. Okay, so I got the last section on, and what I did is I just pulled back, every couple of sections on the end here and wrapped it around. Remember, I ran out of gray, so I used black. And what I'm doing is I'm pulling it off the loom backwards. But I guess you could do it forwards too. It really doesn't make a difference now because it's all done. So we have a little bit extra length on this side, which is probably going to be good because it'll help wrap around my wrist. Okay. So we got a little bit of a tag here that, I don't know, I'll figure out something with it. I may go back here and just cut that out and end the starburst right there and then tie it together with this one. And then we'll do the same over here on this side too. So I'll figure something out. And we're a little bit from here, or we could always just C-clip it together. It's no big deal. But, that's where we're at so far. And the other thing I had a thought is, let me go ahead and put this on for a second and see. It's always good to try it out while you're building it. Make sure things are working for you. So that there could have been done better. Granted, my hand's bigger than most of the people that are going to be using this because I have huge hands. But it may work out better for somebody else. We'll try it on Morgan and see how it works. It'll probably work perfectly fine. So in this aspect, what we could do is we can attach this here, which is the one piece, and then we can also attach the the underside, and then that'll help to fit the glove a little nicer. Or ultimately, I can tie these two together once I put my thumb together, and that'll help pull all that together nicely. See how that works? Okay, let me get this out of the way. If I pull that together, you can see how that will work out pretty good. So, but for the people that are going to be using these gloves, it'll probably work out perfectly. So there we go. All right, and then you're going to do the thumb just the same way as you did the rest of the bracelet. You're going to go under here. Let me get this off and I'll show you. It's still, this is probably a little tight for me. So you're going to load up your loom with your triples like you did before. And then when you go to do your triple, let me knock this down. You make your triples across and then you flip this around. And then what you're going to do is you're going to find some gaps in your starburst. And then you're just going to go each section here where the gray stuff is. Where the ends are. And you would just do it just like that. So you create, your pattern, your singles that you did, and then you go on here and you hook that over this side, and then you do your grays, your gray, across, And then you just continue that pattern all the way around here. And what you can do is, you know, if you kind of follow the contour of the thumb, this side is going to be a little bit longer than this side. So you could make this side, you know, maybe 12, and you can make this side, you know, maybe 15 or 24. So then, you know, this one that we did before, the thumb was all the same size. But you kind of see how it's just tied into there. But, you know, since the thumb really isn't, you know, it's kind of shorter on the inside and longer on the outside. So if you just double this length here, and then try to tie it together just by pulling, you know, when you put your gray bands on, you know, you're going to bring them, and then when you tie them together, you may take 2 to 1, as, you know, 2 over to 1 like this, you know, as opposed to, you know, having one every single time. And that'll be a way that you can kind of shrink everything down. So I'm going to go ahead and get everything posted so you can see it. You know, there's a couple people that are trying to get this done by tomorrow. So I'm going to post the rest of this up tonight. Worst case scenario, Will, you know, my man, do the best you can. If you need to have this done, you know, go ahead and give it a shot. Maybe you can do it like this without the thumb for now, and then you can add the thumb on later. So it'd still be a pretty cool gift without the thumb. But, you know, I know if you want to do the whole thing, you know, just, you know how to do this part, but just continue adding it on. You know, just like you did before. Get your ends, tie them all together, every other thing, and then go from there, man. Give it your best. I'm going to get this stuff done and posted up for you so you can. And then I'll shoot a quick final video in the next day or two to finish off the thumb and show everybody how it worked. But there you go. Rainbow Loom bracelet. Or Rainbow Loom bracelet. No, Rainbow Loom glove. And we'll get it up there posted for you tonight so you guys can get to work on it. And I'll get back with you soon with the final part. And we'll go from there. Take care, guys. Thanks for all your watching.